Hello fellow coffee botherers, in this video I'm going to be talking about buying coffee machines. In my opinion, buying a coffee machine is a great investment, but only if you buy the right kind of coffee machine, and that means the right kind of coffee machine for you, as we're all different. There are so many different types of coffee machines on the market now, they're all apparently the best if you read the blurb, and it's very easy to end up buying the wrong kind of machine altogether. So this video is intended as the antidote to choosing the wrong kind of coffee machine, and it revolves around answering 5 very simple multiple choice questions. If you're already on your path into the home barista hobby, then just look at the chapters and jump straight to question 4. If you consider yourself a more normal coffee drinker, the first 3 questions are for you. Question 1. What kind of coffee do you want to drink? A. Filter coffee or drip coffee for people who call Lego Legos and aluminium. And B. Espresso. If the answer is A, it's filter or drip that you want to drink, then obviously it's a filter coffee, drip coffee machine you need. This may seem obvious, but I do get quite a lot of people asking me if the machine they're considering is good for filter coffee, and it turns out that the machine in question is an espresso machine. If you purely want to make cups or pots of drip filter coffee, it's really simple because there aren't all that many options when it comes to filter machines. If you're in Europe, see coffeeblog.co.uk/filter machines, and if you're outside of Europe, see coffeekev.com/drip machines. If the answer is B, you're wanting to make espresso-based drinks, including espresso of course, and also latte, cappuccino, flat white and other milk beverages, and Americano or long black, then you need an espresso machine. But which kind of espresso machine? Let's find out. Question 2, what's your priority? A, convenience. B, cup quality. C, right in the middle, you want convenience but not to the detriment of cup quality. If you answered A, you just want caffeinating fast and easy, then you'd be best with either a pod coffee machine or a bean-to-cup machine, also known as automatic coffee machines. If you're mainly looking for milkies, bean-to-cup automatic machines would usually be the better option. There are a couple of Nespresso original line machines that have milk frothers, the Sage Creatista and DeLonghi Latissima for example, but with most pod machines you'd use a separate milk frother which are quite slow and a bit of a pain to clean, so it defeats the object to a certain degree if you're mainly focused on convenience and you mainly drink milkies. Dolce Gusto and Tassimo machines do have latte pods, latte macchiato pods, etc. which contain milk concentrate or powdered milk, which is fine if you enjoy pod milkies, but they do work out quite expensive versus using fresh milk. If you mainly drink espresso and Americano, you could go either way, but bean-to-cup machines give you more choice, both over the machines and the coffee, and the long-term value tends to be better, meaning the price per cup is usually cheaper. So the amount of money you'll spend on coffee over the lifetime of the machine, including the cost price, is likely to be less with a bean-to-cup machine. But pod machines are usually cheaper, so they can represent better upfront value if that's what you're mainly focused on. We could say that pod machines don't produce true espresso, but then we could say the same for bean-to-cup machines, and it does depend on what pod machines you're referring to. If your answer to question 2 was B, cup quality is the most important thing, then you're really looking at a traditional portafilter espresso machine. And if this is the case, keep watching and we'll narrow the choice down further. If your answer was C, you're right in the middle, you're not happy to compromise on either side, then in my opinion, at present there are literally only a couple of options for you, especially if you're planning on using freshly roasted beans. And that's what I refer to as the in-between machines from Sage or Breville. In terms of delivering true traditional espresso cup quality and true bean-to-cup convenience, there's only really the Barista Touch Impress or the Oracle Touch. The Barista Express Impress and the Oracle both do this to a degree, but not quite to the same level of convenience as the touchscreen machines. For people who are looking for that kind of user experience, that would usually come from a one-touch bean-to-cup or fully automatic machine. A lot of people have more of an idea now of what kind of machine will be best for them, so let's narrow things down further with question 3. Which coffee beans will you be using? A. Normal off-the-shelf beans. B. Freshly roasted beans. C. Both. If you answered A, off-the-shelf, mainstream, big brand or generic coffee beans, you'd be better suited to a bean-to-cup automatic machine or a traditional machine with a pressurised portafilter or pressurised baskets. See the description for examples. If you answered B for freshly roasted beans, you can use a bean-to-cup machine, but the best way to experience the full vibrancy of freshly roasted beans is by dialing in, getting the extraction as close to perfect as possible with a traditional portafilter espresso machine using standard traditional baskets. Again, I'll put examples in the description. For anyone who answered C, you'll be using both. Again, you'll be fine with a bean to cup machine as long as you realise that you might not get the full expected vibrancy and intensity from freshly roasted beans, or a traditional espresso machine with both pressurised and traditional baskets. All the Sage or Breville machines come with both kinds of baskets. The Gaggia Classic does, the new Gaggia Espresso comes with pressurised baskets, but you can easily get standard baskets for it. A quick guide to baskets. Pressurised baskets are for using traditional espresso machines with normal commodity coffee beans, pre-ground coffee and in some cases also easy serve pods, ESE pods. They make the espresso look the part, which is why Gaggia very appropriately called them perfect crema baskets. You can't dial in with them, but you can't really dial in with the kind of coffee they're intended for anyway. It tastes how it tastes, pretty much, which is great from the perspective of being very easy to work with. Standard, traditional baskets give you the ability to dial in using freshly roasted coffee beans. So for normal supermarket coffee beans, you'd be better off with a bean to cup automatic machine or a pressurised basket espresso machine. And for freshly roasted beans, you can use bean to cup machines, but you'll get the best results from traditional portafilter espresso machines. For anyone who's not quite sure what these machines are, see the description for some examples and further reading. Some people starting out will naturally find themselves slipping down the home barista rabbit hole over time, but if you've already been bitten by the home barista bug and you're wondering what kind of machine you need, question 4 is for you. So question 4 is who's going to be using the machine? A, just you, or someone else who also wants to get into the home barista hobby. B, you and somebody else who has no interest in the home barista hobby. If you answered A, ideally for the home barista hobby, I'd go for a standalone espresso machine and grinder setup. Obviously, there are loads of options. This isn't the video for that, but see my main home barista espresso machine post at coffeeblog.co.uk/HBM if you're in Europe, coffeekev.com/EM if you're outside of Europe. If you like the idea of an integrated grinder machine for home barista use, I'd recommend the Barista Pro or the Barista Express Impress if you're not entirely convinced that the home barista thing is for you, or if you think you might want to do that when you have the time, but not so much when you're in a mad rush and need fast coffee. If you answered B, you really need a machine with at least some assistance if the other person needs to be able to use the machine rather than always relying on you to make the coffee. How much assistance really depends on them. If they really want a one-touch bean-to-cup machine, then the Barista Touch Impress would make the most sense. They can use it on full auto and you can use it manually or semi-manually. If they're happy with steaming their own milk, or they don't really drink milkies, then maybe the Barista Express Impress. Again, there's loads more info and advice on espresso machines on the 2 aforementioned blog posts. Hopefully that's helped if you're thinking about buying a coffee machine and you were getting a bit confused by all the options. There's an espresso machine on the International Space Station called Espresso, along with specially designed zero-gravity espresso glasses, which has nothing to do with clicking the like button, but click the like button if you've never drank espresso in space, or if you have. Z, shh, I know you have. Thank you very much for watching, and if you travel into deep space for good coffee and you enjoyed this video, we've got tons of content about how to make coffee at home to take you from beginner to home barista. We've got reviews and how-tos on the most popular machines. If you like the sound of that, click on my face to subscribe. Tatty Bye!